Someone new is about to change everything. If you stumbled on this reading, it is not a coincidence. Nine of Wands and Death have something specific to say to you. And okay, when I pulled these two together for a new love reading, I actually laughed because the cards are being so specific right now. They are showing me someone who has been through it. Someone who is tired of protecting themselves but still doing it anyway. And the message is clear. The person who is about to walk into your life cannot arrive until you stop standing guard at the door. So before we go deeper, I just want you to breathe for a second. This reading is long and it is layered, and it is going to ask you to look at something you maybe do not want to look at. But if you are still here, if you clicked on this, it is because part of you already knows. Part of you is ready, and these cards are not here to scare you or push you. They are here to remind you that love is not the enemy. Your walls made sense once, they do not anymore. Okay, so the Nine of Wands. This card always hits me in the chest because it is so human. You see this figure standing there with all these wands behind them like a barricade. They are bruised, they are tired, they have one wand in their hand and they are still holding it up like they are ready for the next blow. And the thing is, they are not even being attacked right now. Nobody is coming for them, but they're still standing there in defense mode because that is what they learned to do. That is what kept them safe. I always feel this ache when I see this card because it is the energy of someone who survived something and now they cannot remember how to put the weapon down. You have been through relationships that hurt you. Maybe one big one. Maybe a series of small cuts that added up. Maybe you love someone who was not capable of meeting you. Maybe you gave everything and it was not enough. Maybe you were betrayed or abandoned or misunderstood in a way that changed how you see yourself. And so you built these walls, you developed patterns, you started testing people before they could get close, you started leaving before they could leave you. You started scanning for red flags so intensely that you saw them even when they were not there. And listen, I am not saying that was wrong. You did what you had to do. You protected yourself when no one else would. But the Nine of Wands is showing me that you are still doing it. You are still in that stance, and it is exhausting you. You are guarded even when you are trying to be open. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop even when things are going well. You have one foot out the door before the person even walks in. And I get it, I really do. But the energy of this card right now is saying, you're safe enough to soften. You do not have to perform in vulnerability anymore. And then we have Death. Okay, so people panic when they see this card, but it is actually one of the most hopeful cards in the entire deck when you understand what it is really saying. Death is not about something being taken from you. It is about something ending because it is meant to. It is the card of transformation, of shedding, of composting the old version so the new one can grow. In a new love reading, Death is telling me that the version of you who needed those walls is dying. And I do not mean that in a violent way. I mean it in the way that a snake sheds its skin. You are outgrowing the story you have been telling yourself about what you deserve and what is possible and what always happens. The old pattern is ending. The cycle is breaking. And it is not because you are forcing it or willing it or doing another round of shadow work. It is because you have been doing the work already. You have been healing in ways you cannot even see yet. And now the universe is stepping in to say, okay, this chapter is closed. You do not get to go back to it even if you wanted to. Death is the card that says, you are becoming someone new whether you feel ready or not. And the person who is about to enter your life is not going to match the old you. They are not going to fit into the defensive, guarded, hypervigilant version of you. They are going to meet the version that is emerging right now. The one who is softer, the one who is ready, and that is why this is happening now and not 6 months ago. You're different. You're available in a way you were not before, and Death is making sure the old relationship templates cannot follow you into this next phase. So when I look at these two cards together for new love, this is what I am seeing. You're standing at this threshold. On one side is everything you have known, the protection, the patterns, the stories about how love goes and who you can trust and what always ends up happening. On the other side is someone new, and they are not like the others. They are not triggering your wounds on purpose. They are not asking you to shrink or prove yourself or manage their emotions. They are just there, steady, interested, available. But you cannot meet them while you are still holding up that wand. You cannot let them in while you are still standing behind the barricade. The Nine of Wands and Death together are saying, you have to let the old defense system die, not because it failed you, it did not, it kept you alive, but because you do not need it anymore. And the wild part is, this new person is not waiting for you to be perfect or healed or completely open. They are just waiting for you to stop testing them, to stop waiting for them to hurt you, to stop treating them like they are everyone who came before. These cards are saying that new love is close, like very close, but it cannot fully land until you recognize it is new, until you stop scanning it for proof that it is actually the same. And I know that is scary. I know it feels vulnerable in a way that almost does not make sense. But death is a card of inevitability. This shift is happening. The only question is whether you are going to resist it or let it carry you. Okay, so what do you actually do with this? First, I need you to notice when you are in Nine of Wands mode. Notice when you are bracing, when you are scanning someone's words for hidden meaning, when you're pulling back because things feel too good or too easy. Just notice it. Do not judge yourself for it. Just say, oh, there it is. That is the old guard. That is the part of me that learned to protect. Thank you, but I am safe now. Second, I need you to let one small thing be easy. Just one. Let someone text you first and do not spiral about what it means. Let a compliment land without deflecting it. Let a plan stay a plan without assuming it will fall through. Start practicing receiving without suspicion. Because new love is going to require you to receive, to let someone show up for you without punishing them for what someone else did. And third, do something that represents the Death card, something symbolic. Get rid of something that ties you to an old relationship or an old version of yourself. Delete the screenshots, unfollow the ex, donate the clothes you wore when you were trying to be smaller. Rearrange your room, cut your hair if that feels right. Let your body and your space reflect that something has ended, that you are not the same person anymore. It does not have to be dramatic, it just has to be intentional. And I want you to sit with some questions. What would it feel like to meet someone without your walls up? Not recklessly, not ignoring your instincts, but without the assumption that they are going to hurt you. Can you imagine that? What is the story you keep telling yourself about how love goes? Where did that story come from? Is it still true? And what would you need to believe about yourself to let someone love you the way you actually want to be loved? Because listen, you are not broken. You are not too damaged or too guarded or too much. You are someone who survived and learned and built boundaries that made sense at the time. And now you are someone who is ready for something different. The Nine of Wands says you have been standing there long enough. Death says the old chapter is already closing, and new love says, I am here whenever you are ready to stop treating me like a threat. This person is coming. They might already be here, and they are not asking you to be fearless. They are just asking you to be present. To see them as them and not as a ghost of everyone else. You have earned this. You have done the work. Now let the wall come down. Drop a comment if you needed to hear this today. I see you. This is a collective reading. If this resonated, subscribe for more collective readings. This reading was meant for someone watching right now. If that is you, I see you. Hold on to what lands and release the rest. I do not send private messages. If someone says they are me, block and ignore.